Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on the Humvee project, and since we put our last video out, we had a lot of comments and people asked me like, man, what are you doing with a Humvee, or why'd you buy that, or what are you going to do with that? So today we're going to kind of answer some of those questions. I want to walk around and I'm going to show you what I've done so far and kind of what I'm working on, and tell you a little bit more about my plans for this thing. So let's kind of talk about what I have planned for this thing. That seemed to be what everybody was asking. Hey, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? So my plans are, we're going to just get everything functioning on it, you know, fix a few things on it that I want to do. I want to put some doors on it. We've got a new soft top coming for it. And just, I want to repaint it, but I'm not going to put a regular paint. So we're going to go back in eventually. I'm not going to do this right now, but maybe back into the spring of next year here, we'll do that. I want to sand it completely down, and I want to cover this entire body on this thing with the Raptor liner bed liner. We're going to go with a lighter gray color with black accents on everything. So wheels and tires obviously will stay black. You know, black mirrors, we'll probably change out these mirrors. I only have one, but just black accents on, you know, throughout. The grill here on the hood will stay black, and a couple of other, you know, trim pieces on the exterior. So I do have a soft top coming that will be here today. We'll do it in black. I'm missing a few pieces for that. We've got some side rails that come in from the A-pillar that connects all the way back, and then a couple of bows that go across that we still have to get. But we'll get that put on, and just basically, you know, I want the soft top just so if I wanted to remove it in the summertime that I can. We can take the top off, go cruising around, put the family in it, and go have fun with this thing. That's the whole idea with it. Doors, we'll talk about doors. I want to put doors on it, and I've actually started working on those as well. But I don't want to just go buy something off the shelf and put on it. I mean, I think part of the joys of having something is being able to work on it and build stuff for it. I think that's, you know, heck, I'm a builder, fabricator is what I do. So I'm actually building some doors, and I'll talk about those here in just a minute. Exhaust, I think I'm going to work on that some today. I've kind of studied it, and I don't really think this deep water forwarding exhaust is for me. It kind of gives, you know, semi-truck vibes, and it's just, you know, if you like that kind of thing, that's cool, but it's just not for me. So, again, I know there's a couple of companies that offer exhaust that bolt on, and I don't really like how it comes out right here in front of the you know, the rear tire. I'm sure the military had a reason for that, but hey, it's not really used for the Marine Corps anymore. So I'm actually going to build a stainless exhaust that kind of comes up over the wheel well and comes back out, and will exit out back here at the rear. I'm going to work on that today. I've got some stainless exhaust pipe laying around, and again, I know there's a company, a couple of companies probably that offer something like that already bolt in, but hey, I've got everything to do it with, and I'm just going to build it. So that's what I'm going to do. Haven't made my mind up yet on the rear back here as to if I want to put, like, you know, some kind of, you know, bumper. I know there's airlift bumpers. I don't know if I want to do that. Haven't made my mind up yet on that. We'll figure that out later. I do want to put a divider across the back from the bed to the, like, passenger compartment and seal that off. So I do want to do that and make this actual, you know, usable truck bed, keep water and whatnot out of the passenger compartment. And again, I'm going to rhino line everything, or Raptor line it rather, you know, inside and out, doing the dark gray. We'll put, you know, seat covers and stuff on the seat, clean it up, maybe build some kind of a console or whatnot for the, you know, the inside, for mount a radio and some light switches and phone chargers and that kind of thing. But we'll get there later. But the idea is just to have something, you know, that looks cool, that I can hop in and put the family in, and we can go, you know, off-road if we want to. We can go, you know, to town in it if you want to, or whatever, you know, just kind of, you know, want to go back in, do all the maintenance stuff that needs to be done. You know, get the heater up and working. I know it's kind of cold this winter, so we'll get the heater. We'll kind of go through that and redo it. And I will leave the snorkel intake here. I do like that, so we'll leave that. And again, you know, I think it's going to look really, really good, gray and black. And so that's kind of what our plans are, is just kind of build something that we can go and enjoy. So as you can see here, I've got started on my doors, and I kind of want to show you those really quick. So this is kind of what I'm going for, kind of give you an idea. Now this is all 3/16 aluminum. The front one here is pretty much how we'll have it. We're still waiting on our hinges. We're still waiting on some rubber, and we're going to put some different latches. They'll be similar to that, but just a little different. So we're still waiting on all that stuff to come in, but I kind of wanted to go ahead and get everything roughed in, and this is what we're looking like here. This is, again, 3/16 aluminum. Now the idea is to do like a hybrid door, so it's a bottom part will be a hard part, and then the top will be a removable soft top. So if I want to take it off in the summertime, I can, and if I want to put it on in the winter, or if it's raining, then I can put it up there, and it'll be a traditional, you know, soft top type door with the zipper down window, similar to what a Jeep would have, or what the similar window that the actual Humvee had on a soft door. So that's kind of what we're going for. Again, 3/16 aluminum on everything here. When the doors or the top part's off, I've got a nice area there for an armrest. And then once we get everything finished up, we'll probably go back in, add a layer of sound deadening and insulation there, and probably put some kind of a cover there for like a door panel, just to, you know, so if your knees is up against it, you've got some padding, and just kind of gives it a little bit more of a finished look. So again, once we get everything done, those will all be covered in the same gray Raptor liner that we put on the body when we get ready to do all that. So that's kind of the whole purpose of doing that, is one, putting doors on it, go ahead and having those done. And that way, once I do the outside of the body, I can do everything, and I don't have to worry about anything with colors not matching when we paint them. So that's kind of the idea there. So again, everything's just kind of setting in place. The rear door here, we've got everything cut for it, and the other two doors as well. So we've got a little bit more cleaning up to do on the actual X pattern part before we rivet it on. But that kind of gives you an idea. And the whole thing is I don't really know. I could buy these doors. I've seen a lot of videos, people, you know, looking at the Cobra Tech doors, and you know, Federal Military makes them, Midwest, all these people make these doors, and again, they're simple, and I have the capability of doing it, so why not, you know? Save a little bit of money on it. I don't really know how much yet. We put pen to paper. 3/16 aluminum is a little expensive, but it's a good sturdy door. And again, looking back at it, honestly, I probably could have went with an 1/8 inch, especially with doubling it up the way we did here. But it gives it a good beefy look, and it's a good solid door. So so far, they're coming together kind of the way I had them planned. And who knows if, you know, somebody out there, they may like them and may want to set. So I've got all the patterns to build them again if I wanted to. So. Okay, so now we've got the exhaust system there unbolted. I didn't really know how that was going to be put together here coming off of the stock muffler, but it looks like there's a little ball flange there in the mounting surface. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got the exhaust off there. I wasn't really wanting to do this, but I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to reuse this piece here. And so it basically, you can see here where the U-bolt, where it clamped up here and held that into place. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to cut the exhaust off back here, and then I can tie on my new exhaust from here and then route it up through the fender there where I want it. I was hoping I could just keep this and maybe sell it or whatever, but and it's not that big a deal. I might could still sell it, but I'm going to go ahead and reuse this piece here so I know it bolts up completely to the factory muffler. So we got that part of the exhaust cut out, and I rebolted that back up there, and I cut it a little bit long, but now we're going to go back in and try to figure out what all bends we need to get the exhaust to run up through that inner fender there. So if you follow me on YouTube, then you've seen me use this kit here before. This is a modeling kit from Ice Engine Works. And so we're going to take this. This has a series of bends and angles here that we can snap together, and we can fully model our exhaust out before we cut and bend anything. So you've seen me use this on the Pro Touring Trans Am build, again, if you follow us on YouTube. And if you don't, this is a prime opportunity to go back in and check that out. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got all kind of builds going on here. Now, if you're just doing this in your home garage, I don't really recommend you buying this kit because it's really expensive, but we use it a good bit here in our hot rod shop, so should come in really handy here. And again, I'm not going to do like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this, but I'm just going to kind of set the camera up here, and you can kind of see how this all goes together, and we'll see if we can't get something built. So this is where we're at so far. As you can see there, we kind of cut down, and I've got the tire just kind of setting up here right now. It's not really bolted in, just to kind of double check, make sure we've got plenty of clearance, and we got plenty. So again, we used the factory section of the exhaust right there. We did a tight 90-degree bend here and kind of come straight up. And as you can see there, with the modeling set up there, it just worked out great. So we've got it to this point, and then now I want to kind of come off of this and kind of 45, and I really want my exhaust to kind of come out high, like right over here. So we're going to kind of play around with that a little bit, but you kind of get the idea of where we're at there. And again, this is 3-inch stainless steel exhaust pipe here, and all mandrel bent. So everything's good, tight, got real good flow there on everything. So we just kind of run it out there a little bit longer. We'll end up go back in and trimming this section off once we figure out what we're going to do here. So this is what we're going to work on next, is kind of finish out this last little bit here. So this is our finished exhaust after we've got everything cut and welded together. So again, you can see there what little bit of the factory exhaust we had to use. We come out of that with a 90 and then up and then radiused around and then come back out here for our tailpipe. Now, again, 3-inch stainless steel. I may come back in later on and put a little bit bigger exhaust tip here on the end. But I think for now we're going to go ahead and get it stuck on, and we'll crank it up and see what it sounds like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a cold start here. I have not cranked this thing up, and we'll see what it does. So other than the extremely loud diesel engine, I think the exhaust sounds pretty good. Again, I may come back in and put a tip on right here, not 100% sure. And then I'm going to come in here and make a hanger off of the exhaust pipe here that'll bolt up here to this inside brace here and kind of sturdy that up. And then I've got plenty of room back here behind the exhaust, between the exhaust and the inner fender. So I think all in all, for just a bunch of tubing that I already had laying around, very, very, very pleased with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a brace put on that, get everything buttoned up, and we'll call that project done. So I just wanted to walk you through here just a little bit about how I'm assembling the doors. So I have my main door frame here cut out, and then the X pattern here, I've made a pattern out of some 1/4-inch Luan material. It's what I use to cut out, lay down and trace out for my patterns. And I cut everything out with just a jigsaw and cleaned it all up with a file and a sander. So once I've got everything cut, I spaced it out how I wanted it. I laid this down and I drilled all of my holes. I used this to lay out all of my holes to rivet everything in. So as you can see here, I'll take a couple of clamps loose here and show you what everything looks like. So there you go. After you take that off, I've got my holes all perfectly spaced out for rivets. And so let's go ahead and make sure that I don't have any metal shavings from the drill between the two panels, and I'll lay everything out and start putting the rivets in it. All right, so now we've got everything blew off, wiped down, and cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and try to get our holes lined back up here. And we're gonna be using some 3/16 rivets here. These are all aluminum, well, they're an aluminum rivet with a steel shank, so they'll pull up good and tight. So we've drilled everything out to a 3/8 or a 3/16 drill bit, and we'll get everything kind of pushed in place there. I'm going to use the rivet gun there to kind of push that one in there. I'm not going to rivet it just yet until we get everything lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of these in. Make sure we get all of our holes lined back up good before we rivet anything down. All right, so now we've got all of our rivets put in. I've actually went ahead and done one rivet here, and I'll show you why. So we've got all of our rivets come through, and I'm going to come through, and we'll do this one right here in the middle. So we're going to use a 3/16 aluminum backing washer here. These are especially for the rivets. Simply goes onto the back side of the rivet. And then once it pulls through, you can see here on this one here, it gives it a really, really nice tight bind and gives it something a little bit extra to pull against, and it'll pull it up really nice and tight. So this is also where the electric rivet gun comes in handy. So I'm going to take my finger and just keep here on the edge of that. And I'll show you how this works. Still got my finger on the washer, and then I'm going to take and push down on the rivet. And just like that, it pulls it up real nice and tight. And so now we've got to go ahead and do the rest of the door. We'll get all those knocked out, and then we'll be ready for weather stripping. So there we go. We've got all of our rivets installed, and as you can see there, that looks really, really, really good. Everything spaced out really well. All of our rivets pulled up real nice and tight back here on the back. And then we still have to go back in and we'll get our door handles in. We've got to drill a couple of holes there. We'll actually bolt those in just in case if there's ever an issue with them where you need to change them out. We can actually take those out pretty easy. And so those are still coming in. So this door is ready for weather stripping, and so what we've got is we've got a really big roll of weather stripping here, and I'll try to show you this. This is the side profile view of it. So it literally just it snaps over the door edge here, and then this goes back in and seals up against the body. So we're going to go ahead and get that started here. Here at the front door edge. Let's see, we actually have to start back here on the back. So we'll start right back here, and this simply, it's a little bit harder to get started, but once you do, it'll just kind of bump on there, just like so. Kind of bump it on, and we'll go ahead and work the rest of this door around, and then when we get ready, I'll show you what it looks like once it's installed. So there you go. Other than the door handle and the hinges, which we're still waiting on, that's going to be pretty much our completed door. As you can see here, when we made our X pattern, I left 3/4 of an inch all the way around from the X frame over to the door edge to allow that rubber to sit in there, and it still keeps it close enough. It got a really nice gap all the way through. And then of course our hinges will bolt on here in the front of this, is why that does not go all the way across to the very front. So once we get door handles in here, our hinges, hopefully they'll be in this week, but being here pretty much the week of Christmas, I don't really know, so we'll see. But either way, we've got that done. We'll go ahead and put this one on the truck in there, and we'll kind of look and see what it looks like. So there we are, guys. We've got the doors just kind of setting up there, again waiting on our hinges, and as you can see here, we have our new to me black soft top in. I bought this used from a gentleman off of one of our Facebook groups here, and you know, it's no blue ox top, so for you Humvee guys are going to know the blue ox tops, but it'll get me by for what I want to do right now. Obviously, we're still missing the rails, the side rails, and then the two bows there that go across, as I mentioned earlier. But it kind of gives you the idea. I wanted to set it up here, get a good look at it, and kind of give you an idea of what it's gonna look like here. Again, the doors, I think they're going to turn out fantastic. All of my spacing seems to have worked out pretty good. The rubber gaskets are going to work out really well. And it should seal up pretty good once we get everything finalized there with our hinges and our handles that we're going to use. Right now I'm still utilizing the factory soft top door latches. I'm going to go back in and make a set of hinges, or the latches out of steel rather, for the doors. Once we get everything in there and get it mounted, I'll do that. But overall, you kind of get the idea of where it's headed and what it's looking like, and I think it's going to be killer. So we got a lot done today. The doors, I'll finish up the other two doors. I've got everything cut out. We've just got to get them all put back together. We'll get all that done off camera. But we got a lot done today. I'm very excited about it, the way it's coming together. We've got our top kind of put into place, the doors kind of put onto place, the exhaust done. Pretty excited about how that turned out. Again, man, appreciate y'all watching. Maybe you learned something, picked up on something there. Again, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers and the fans this year. We really, last year about this time, we really kind of started pushing our YouTube channel, and so far we've done pretty well with it. Hope you guys are liking the content. Be sure to check out our 77 Pro Touring build. Tons of videos there on that if you haven't already. And if you have, then we appreciate it. And hey, everybody have a safe, happy, and Merry Christmas and a good New Year. And we're going to wrap it up for the year here. Again, just want to tell you thank you, and we'll see you next year.